Hi, everybody. It's Miss Whitley. I'm so sorry I missed you guys for the first class, and I appreciate your kindness in dealing with Mr. Wilson while I'm out of state working on a situation with my mother. I want to go through some parts of lesson number one, and I'm going to divide this into two separate videos. I think you listened to one video already, and I made that during the summer, I think. Maybe it was for the fall for another class. But let me just go through this with you for what to do this weekend. And then maybe next week we'll go through the PowerPoint. I usually make videos on the PowerPoint. I don't know that I'll have time, as I'm thinking about it now, to do a PowerPoint video for you related to chapter one, but it's important that you do read through chapter one and through chapter two before you come to class next week, and even scan chapter three and four. The reason I'm being so ambitious with all this is that you need to be ambitious because we're in a term C class. That means for every 1 week of a regular 16-week course, you're doing 2 weeks. And so we just are going to be energetic and focused and goal-oriented, and we're going to get this thing done and dusted. So let me go to the screen for you, which is your class, and this is where your assignments are. I'll point out that the announcements are always here, and that would be a very wise thing to check on a very frequent basis. I post the announcements and have the opportunity to also send an email. So you should be getting emails from me. You actually got emails from me, from the system at least, saying that you were missing assignments because I try, but I'm not always good at being able to do it every Thursday, but try to give you a heads up reminder on Thursday for what is due by Saturday. Now, I also have office hours on Saturday. I sent you that in this announcement right here. And if you need to talk to me about anything, then you could call me at this link or log into this link. And we can talk from 5 to 7 if you have any brief questions. We don't have to talk all 2 hours. I mean, just pop in and pop out. And I'm also delighted to do a one-on-one session for you if you need that. So let's go into just a lesson one and look at what the goals are. I will open up more lessons as we get more into the groove, but you can focus on lessons 1 and 2 between now and next Wednesday. So in lesson 1, the first assignment that you have due is this Dropbox for the student email assignment. Now, that email assignment was sent out on October the 3rd, Friday, to all the students who had been registered by October 3rd. So check your Outlook email, your Gwinnett Tech email. If you didn't get it, and because Mr. Wilson yesterday told me that some of you did not, I resent it yesterday. And it asks you, probably duplicates this very same thing. I think I just cut and pasted this. And so what you're supposed to do is written up in the email. And it says here, right here, I think this is actually, there was a 5th one, and that's your VARC score. That is number 5, and that's in the email. But you're supposed to send back to this Dropbox. So you'll open up this Dropbox, and it'll repeat the assignment. But you go down all the way to the bottom, and it says to write the submission. And so if you want to write the submission, you would put your name, the name you want to go by, program of study, whatever these questions are up here that you're supposed to answer, plus the VARC score, and just check the email that I sent you. And so you'll put those 4 questions here, and then you will click Browse My Computer to access the screenshot that you've made of your VARC score. If you don't know how to do a screenshot, or you don't know how to save one, then I would suggest that you go into your browser and ask Siri, or you ask Google, or you go to DuckDuckGo, or whatever browser you're using, and say, how do I do a screenshot? I'm in my 2nd, 3rd graduate program. Trust me, Google has been almost my primary instructor throughout this whole thing. So we are going to rely on what internet sources are out there, and you'll begin to become more and more independent as learners. You'll love it. You'll be great. Don't worry about it. So I really don't want you to worry, because in first year experience, this is the opportunity to work as a new student lab. Maybe that's a good way of thinking of first year experience. So again, you'll write your submission, the answer those questions here, but you'll put a screenshot for your VARC score in some folder. You might want to put it in your downloads folder or create a folder online for your FYES course. Maybe you do it per chapter or per lesson, and then you'll browse your computer, find that screenshot that you've selected. Normally screenshots will go into pictures, by the way, and then you'll connect it to Browse My Computer. So if I click Browse My Computer here, then you can't see that I am going to something that's been downloaded. I'm just going to do a pretend, and I'm going to select something, and you'll see that SMART Goals assignment, which is what I selected, is then attached. If you want to write me comments to say, hey, Miss Whitley, this is the assignment, then just put them in here and make sure you hit submit. I can't see anything unless you submit it. It'll just be a little blue circle that continues to rotate saying attempt in progress until you hit submit. So make sure you hit submit. So again, how did I get here? So here's how I did that. I went to lesson 1. I found the Dropbox for student email assignment. I clicked on that link, hyperlink. It gave me the assignment all over again, very similar, not exactly, but very similar to what you received in the email, either October 3rd or yesterday, which would have been October the 7th. And then you write your submission into this text box, and you browse your computer for your test results for VARC. Now, if you've already typed in your test results here, okay, no biggie piggy, because I didn't tell you to connect to a screenshot with Browse My Computer. So I just kind of assumed that you did and may have put that in one of your emails. All right, here we go. Let's go back out of here. So let's go to lesson 1 again. That's one of the 4 assignments that you have due this weekend. Here are the other 3. You're going to go to the computer and then the email and then the Windows tutorials, because part of our responsibility for you is to do broad strokes on basic Microsoft Office tools. Microsoft Office is everything that we're using, and so we're just supposed to become familiar with the tool set. So computers is you'll just kind of basic here. You'll click onto it and you'll see the table of contents. Now, I could close that table of contents. So if in your session it looks this way, just find these buttons and maximize the table of contents. And then you'll see that you take the tutorial through an outside website. You'll click to launch here. And when you launch, let me show you where you'll go. You'll go to a place, hang on just a second, and I'll bring you with me. You'll go here to something called the GCF Global. This is Learn Free Org. I'm not the program director for this program. I'm not sure exactly how Stu Bitton, who is the program director, decided that this was the source, but it is our source. And so if you go down to the very bottom, you'll see that there is a test, a quiz here. I would recommend for each one of these tutorials, and there are about 10 before the class is over, that you take your quiz first. Now, you could cheat and not learn anything, which if you're pushed for time, it really, I don't know that I'd call it cheating. It's just you're kind of shortcutting things. If you take the quiz, you could go through it, and then you can take it over and over until you get a passing score, which is 80% or higher. And once you do that, you know, like I'm just going to randomly go through this. Let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, you are. So, and then I go to the next question, and I know I'm getting some of these wrong. Next question. So I'm going, oh, good. I'm just kind of randomly doing stuff, and here I go. Oh, golly, I'm actually proud of myself. I'm doing something. Oh, well, was jinxed myself. So you see, I'm just going through all these things, right? Actually, I'm not even paying attention to the questions. And you could do the same if you just wanted to breeze through this and just keep repeating this until you've memorized the answers. And so what happens is I failed, and so I can't use this. I just need to retry. So you could do that as well. You could memorize the answers and never go back to the tutorial. But what I'm hoping that you'll do is that you'll take this quiz first, and if you don't make an 80% or higher, that you go back to your tutorial. And you'll look at the parts that are unfamiliar to you, and you'll study just those parts, or maybe sections that are really of interest. Now, before you get too intimidated, let me just point out that the parts are usually videos and text and reading that are, what? Let me just see how long this one is. So that one is 4 minutes long. So we're not talking about tons of information. This is a brief interview in each one of these subjects. So again, after you have finished and gotten a passing score, you would go back, you'd take that quiz until it's passed. And once it is a passing score, then you'll go take a screenshot of it or a snipping tool. You can use that. Let me make sure you're with me. Yeah. And this is what you will upload into the Dropbox. Let me show you what the Dropbox looks like. Let's go back to that. So we're going to go back to the course, and you'll see underneath Computer Basics, Email, and Windows, it'll say, please upload. It's like begging you, please. And you'll hit Browse My Computer. And when you browse your computer, it's going to go to your hard drive or to your OneDrive, wherever you have saved that screenshot. It'll always create, if you do a screenshot, it'll go to the pictures file. It will create its own folder called screenshots. And then you just open that. You'll see the word open, and you'll click on the appropriate screenshot, attach it here. I'll just let you see how that looks. It'll be attached. Again, that's not the right one, but I'm using this as an example, and you hit submit. So you'll do that for every one of these lessons. That's Computer Basics. You'll see the same thing in email. See, there's your click to launch. You'll go to that same website, but to a different tutorial. When you come back, excuse me, with a passing grade, you'll do Browse My Computer, and you'll be awesome. And then I will give you your 10 points, and you can write notes and comments, or there's really nothing you can write in your submission here unless you want to say, here's my screenshot. And then the very last one, let's get back out to email, make sure you're still with me, is that we'll go back to lesson 1, and the last one will be Windows. So let me show you what Windows looks like. Windows actually has Windows Basic and Windows 10, and they're basically the same quiz and kind of the same information. So I've just asked you to do Windows Basic. Again, you'll click to launch here, you'll go out to that infamous website, and then once you have taken the tutorial, always start with a quiz. Just fill in the gaps with the tutorial after you see what you score so poorly on. If you make 80 or above at the first pass, just take that screenshot and skip over the rest of that tutorial. But we'll be using exercises, especially with Word, which is in lesson 2, Excel formulas, and PowerPoint. You'll be doing exercises, demonstrate your knowledge of these tutorials. So it's good to have a steady hand on what the content was. So again, then when you have a passing score on your Windows Basic tutorial, you'll just browse your computer and attach that, and you'll hit submit. Remember, if you don't hit submit, I can't grade it because it'll stay in that revolving blue circle saying attempt in progress. And even though I love the color blue, it really does not help getting those grades. All right, I hope this helps you, and feel free to email me and meet me in my office hours if you like this Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Okay, it's Miss Whitley, and I am signing off. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, okay? Bye.